Drove to Sylvania Township to visit her daughter, was later reported missing and then found dead. Investigation went on for years, but to this day, this case is still unsolved. After more than a decade of anguish and waiting, victim's sister-in-law is speaking out. I-Team reporter Christina Williams has the story in this week's Case Files.
Late September 2012. On the morning of the 18th, Catherine Sackrider left her house in Orland, Indiana for a visit with her daughter. She drove 75 miles to Sylvania Township and went to her daughter's home on Vineyard, just off Monroe Street. According to Sackrider's daughter, her mom ran some errands, spent time with the grandkids, and then left to head back to Indiana around 7 that night. It was the last time she was seen alive.
She'd do anything she could for anybody.
6 days later, Catherine's sister-in-law reported her missing. That report was made in Indiana. The next day, a discovery in Sylvania, the missing woman's truck found near Wheatstone Park. Inside, a cell phone, bags of clothes, and the keys. Neighbors say that truck was there for less than a day, and there was still no sign of Catherine. 6 weeks later, November 9th, 2012, a break in the case.
I was coming from the west on a tractor, and I seen all kinds of lights down here, and my brother gave me a call on the phone, says, "You better get down here. There's police vehicles all over down here."
The Lenawee County Sheriff's Office received a report of a body in a field. A worker spreading lime in a cornfield on Scott Highway found the decomposed body of an older female. Mike Reed owned that field at the time, and he remembers that day.
The fertilizer was being spread on the field, and they had the guy that was doing the spreading, he happened to walk across the property and seen what he thought was a plastic clown suit lying there in the weeds, and it turned out to be that's where the lady's body was.
That discovery was Catherine Sackrider. According to police reports, the woman was in a grassy area near a barn. There was a white trash bag and gray duct tape covering part of her body, along with a Detroit Red Wings sweatshirt. No shoes, socks, or pants were found.
I want the person that did it caught. I want to know who it was and why, and I want them prosecuted.
Linda Baranek has been waiting more than a decade for justice in the death of her sister-in-law. She's pointing a finger at Kathy's daughter.
Evidence pointed towards her, and she had motive.
What do you think that motive was?
Greed.
Sylvania Township Police searched Kathy's daughter's home on Vineyard Road. Investigators found similar bags and duct tape, but they were later determined to be unrelated to the crime. The coroner ruled Kathy died of neck injuries, and the case was ruled a homicide. The investigation indicates Kathy's daughter was using her credit cards without her mother's knowledge, racking up thousands of dollars in debt, some of it at casinos. Additional search warrants indicate money problems as a possible motive, something Linda confirms.
I think Kathy confronted her daughter about some of the credit card debt that was on there that she knew wasn't hers.
A polygraph test taken by Kathy's daughter showed her reactions were, quote, indicative of deception, but no one was ever charged. Years later, her family is making yet another public plea for help to close the case.
If they may have seen something in that time, even if it was just the truck and where they saw it, that might be some help. And maybe after seeing this, it'll open somebody's mind and they'll say, "Oh, I remember." There's always hope. We just need a little extra help.
The case was reviewed by the Lucas County Prosecutor's Office, and according to Sylvania Township Police detectives, prosecutors determined there was not enough evidence to sustain a conviction in the murder. At this point, the case is considered cold unless new information comes to light. To finally answer that question, who killed Catherine Sackrider? If you have anything that can help police, you can call or email Sylvania Township detectives. And if you have an unsolved case that needs attention, email me, casefiles@13abc.com. Reporting for the I-Team, Christina Williams, 13 Action News.